So, it's been a while since I last uploaded anything. I've just been really busy with uni, and I've also been having a lot of doubts about my game, which has caused me to kind of hold back on development a bit. If you didn't know, I've been working on this fantasy shopkeep game where you can use these portals to travel to new worlds and find new exotic goods to sell. As I started working, I've just been falling deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole of feature creep that many devs find themselves in. I just was adding way too many features, and I've just completely lost sight of what I want the game to be and how I'm even going to achieve it. I've also been battling on the side between these two ideas, one being a space game, kind of FTL-like, and one being the shopkeep game. So I've really been struggling with that, and all of these issues have been causing me to sort of halt development a bit. So after speaking to some other game devs, talking to my mates, I've decided I'm going to take a step back and actually make and complete and release just a simple little game. I've never completed a game in the 2 years that I've been learning game dev, nor have I ever released anything publicly. I've always just created these really basic prototypes for ideas I think could be fun. Unfortunately, I'm leaving uni tomorrow for a week, and so I don't really have much time, so I'm going to give myself the challenge of, can I make a game in a day? The first thing I need to do is actually come up with what I want to make for this game. One of my previous prototypes was this old Spider-Man inspired game, but it had no goal, no graphics, and code that I copied from online tutorials and that I never actually understood. This was going to be my starting point, and so I booted up the old project and So I'll start by booting up a new project. The first thing I need is a player controller. So if I just head on over to my other game and yoink. Does this count as me making it all in one day? Who knows? It's my challenge, so shh, don't worry about it. Next I need to try moving the anchor to wherever I click in the world. I can use a raycast with a specified length to achieve this. Essentially, I'll shoot a line from the camera, and wherever it hits, I can move the anchor to. After fixing a few issues that were making the anchor fly towards me, I was able to move the anchor wherever I looked. Now I need to try and figure out how to actually connect myself to it. In the old project, I'm pretty sure I used a built-in component called a configurable joint, which allows me to join two different rigid bodies together with a lot of customizable properties. So I guess I'll start there. I got a lot of issues with this, from not being able to move at all, to moving the connected bodies instead. With a lot of trial and error, I managed to create this, which I can use to set up the joints wherever I click. Now you can fire the grapple, connect to the anchor, and start to swing. Something was going wrong though. Not only was it way too bouncy, but the rope was acting really unpredictably. I was taking a look at it and I found that these anchors are really far off from where I actually clicked. They should be exactly on the point that was hit, but instead they're ending up all the way out here. Like, look at this. After doing a bit of googling, I found that I just needed to add this small line of code, which would essentially calculate the point a lot more accurately. I don't really know what it does, but it works, so we're gonna go with it. After this, I did a little bit more map design to allow me to more easily test swinging. This helped me find a few more issues to fix, one of the main ones being the player's momentum in the air. The movement system that I was using constantly updates the velocity of the rigid body when trying to move the character. This is really good for quick, snappy movement, but it's really bad when I'm trying to create a momentum-based swing. It means that the moment that you're not pressing any buttons, your player will just stop in the air, and you'll never naturally swing, you'll only fall. After trying out a few different ideas to try and get this work, and recreating large parts of the code, I found the easiest thing to do was just to disable it all during the swing. This meant that the player would then have to think about lining up the swings before they actually swing. After realising how much time I'd actually spent trying to just fix that small issue, I had to try and complete all of the main movement features. This included a way to reel in and out, which I managed to achieve by updating the length of this joint over time while you're holding either shift or control. It was now 2 o'clock and I needed to take a break for some food and try and come up with a gameplay loop.
1 hour later.
Okay, speedrunning. So, hear me out. I've been playing a lot of Cluster Truck and this game called Jumps recently, created by another talented game dev on here. His channel's below. And I've been really enjoying the high-speed action of both games. The counting timer is just gets that adrenaline pumping. And with the amount of time left, it seemed like my best hope at actually getting this finished. So I started making some art. I'm still new to Blender and I had absolutely no idea what to make. I had to just make it up as I went along and kind of just come up with my ideas and hope for the best. After importing the models, I quickly set up some simple animations in Unity. After importing the models, I quickly set up some simple animations in Unity for firing, idling, and getting that claw thing back. I also decided that it was probably a good time to actually add the rope, so I set up a line renderer that would draw between the gun and the anchor, and I slapped this sexy emission texture on it. Ooh, would you look at that. Anyways, this made the game much easier as you finally had a better indication when you were grappled on something. Yeah, that's better. I also noticed that the line appears at the claw first as it fires, but I'll fix it later. I had one more feature that I wanted to work on, and that's adding the ability to move physics objects with the grapple. This was actually really easy to do. I just basically checked if it had a non-kinematic rigid body on it, and if it did, I just connected it to the joint. I didn't need to do anything else. And now we've got moving physics balls that I can drag around with my hook. Claw. I guess it's a claw. I don't like this claw. Anyway, you may be wondering why I wanted to make these physics balls that move. And obviously, it's for physics puzzles, of course. All those physics puzzles that I'll 100% build in the future. Definitely. Okay, so movement and key mechanics are done. It's time to design the levels. I created a few simple scripts to manage things such as saving and loading. I based these off of the tutorial by Dapper Dino, which I'll have a link to in the description below. I'll use this to store data about your best time, the previous times, and if the levels are completed or not. I also made this simple timer that just ticks up over time, like a timer does, and a way to pause and actually finish the levels. To call this kind of complete, I wanted to have one world with at least 7 levels. I'm not really sure why I chose 7. I guess it sounded nice at the time, but 7 it is. It was finally time to put these levels together, so cue the music. This part of development was probably what took the longest, but it was actually really enjoyable to do, testing them along the way and iterating to just watch them come together. Now all I needed to do was add a little bit of tutorial text here, and we're done. There we go, and with a bit of time to spare. It's actually been really fun sitting down and making something. Wait, hang on. Something's missing. Oh, So I figured out I was missing a menu. I didn't really have much time, so I just needed to throw this together quickly. I made a simple main menu screen with a level select that would let you choose a world and a level to play, as well as showing you the best time for that level. I also made a settings menu, but as I had no settings to change, all you can do here is delete your save. I'm out of time, and this is what I've got. To be honest, I completely forgot the games have audio. I was so concentrated on just completing the game quickly that it went straight over my head. So I didn't really manage to fully complete a game in a day, but I learned a lot of really good skills from it. Plus, with only a little bit of audio, I could call it pretty much a complete experience. If you want to check out the game, I've put a link to the itch page below, so you can download and play it for free. I had a lot of fun making this video, and I hope you enjoyed it too. It was something a little different for me, but I plan on making more videos like this in the future. If you want to see those when they come out, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and if you want, you could even like the video. It really helps me out a lot and lets me get seen by more people, especially as I'm a small dev trying to grow. You're also able to follow me at these places, and at the moment I'm working on a Discord which will be up soon, so you'll be able to hop in there and say hi. Anyways, I'll catch you gamers in the next video. Yeah, I don't think that's meant to happen. I think this needs some work.